They called themselves artists, but on the battlefield they became ghosts. Imagine painting a tank so real it could fool a German spy plane. Imagine blasting recorded battle sounds across an empty field so loud that the enemy believed thousands of troops were approaching. Now imagine doing all that, knowing one mistake could expose you unarmed and get you killed. This isn't fiction. It's the untold story of the Ghost Army, a secret US unit that didn't fight with bullets, but with illusions. How did a group of painters, set designers, and sound engineers become one of the most effective deception forces in World War? And why did their mission remain classified for more than 50 years? They were officially called the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, but to those who served beside them, they were the Ghosts. Over 1,000 men recruited from art schools, advertising agencies, and Hollywood studios. Their mission? To trick the Nazi war machine using creativity, courage, and complete secrecy. Each operation began the same way. The Ghost Army would move into a region where a real division had just left, and then they would pretend to be that division. They inflated rubber tanks, staged fake radio traffic, and played sounds of heavy artillery through massive speakers. To enemy intelligence, it looked and sounded like a full-blown army had arrived. But in reality, it was a handful of artists in jeeps. One soldier, Bill Blass, who later became a world-famous fashion designer, recalled, "We weren't shooting bullets, we were shooting ideas, and sometimes they worked better than bombs. Their deceptions saved thousands of lives." In one mission near the Rhine River in 1945, they used more than 600 inflatable tanks, 500 fake trucks, and a soundtrack of recorded chaos to convince the Germans that 2 American divisions were advancing from the south. While the Nazis prepared for that attack, the real troops slipped across the river miles away without a single shot fired. That illusion helped the Allies win a critical foothold in the final push toward victory in Europe. But being an artist in a war zone was no dream. The Ghost Army operated within range of enemy artillery. Many had no combat training. One member described it as fighting fear with creativity. If their ruse failed, they couldn't fight back. They had to vanish. The stakes were high. A single spy photograph, a single captured radio signal could have exposed their entire operation, and yet they succeeded over 20 times across France, Luxembourg, and Germany. Their secret weapon wasn't firepower, it was imagination. Camouflage experts painted shadows under fake tanks to match the sun's angle. Artists like Ellsworth Kelly and Arthur Singer used their eye for detail to build fake command posts out of canvas and plywood. Sound engineers from Bell Labs created mobile battle soundtracks, looping tank engines, gunfire, and even shouted orders. They turned deception into an art form, and art into survival. Yet, when the war ended, their story disappeared into classified archives. For decades, no one knew about the Ghost Army, not even their families. Their heroism was buried under silence, their missions erased by secrecy. It wasn't until the 1990s that their existence was finally declassified. Old men in their 70s and 80s began to speak for the first time. They brought photos, sketches, and recordings, proof that art had once outwitted the Nazi war machine. One veteran said quietly, "We never wanted medals, we just wanted people to know what art can do when it's used to save lives." Today, the Ghost Army's legacy lives on in museums, documentaries, and whispered admiration from military strategists. They proved that creativity could be as powerful as courage, that imagination, in the darkest times, could be a weapon of light. So the next time you see a painting, a soundscape, or a movie illusion, remember this. There was once an army that painted, acted, and pretended, not to entertain, but to protect. And their brushstrokes changed the course of history.